graphic they made, so they must have thought it was worth putting some time into for good reason. I'm just going to trust our team. NAVI moving towards the A side, and there is a stun primed and ready, but KROSTALY doesn't hit it. yetujey, though, from the side, able to shut down Kolosha. NAVI quick on the trade. xeus will not last long in that corner, and they know that KROSTALY's isolated on the side. The dive out is brave from Filu. He's ahead of the pack all alone, and guy's isolated, but with the damage done, it still feels like a surefire win for NAVI. 33 and 9 HP left.
Yeah, they've also just paused, and it seems like the read from SOP, or the call, was that maybe they've gone back in the other direction. It was the wrong call, as they'll be waiting patiently to catch out KROSTALY, and now Ruxic.
Outstanding performance, called a fantastic game, but also hit an incredible amount of shots. Filu won, and he's...
We've already seen some re-aggression towards this side, but there's the Nightfall. Already connects onto a couple of those players under pressure. Sound dissipating, but it's yetujey to find that first pick of the battle and goes in for a little bit more. KROSTALY playing that breach like a duelist. yetujey holding that up top. The Nightfall has had little to no effect. This Cypher is holding the line. And now leaves Filu. He was the one to get the first kill of the round, but ever since then, it's been all FUT. I think he's going to get stamped out.
One of their 3 players on A towards the B site, the other 2 to push through Dish, go all the way around through the north side of the map, and then find that no one's there. They tried to crunch on Arcade, and instead, they've left the A site wide open for NAVI to take it. A plant will be found on the back of it. No ulti's close on that attack side, but look who is close. Filu already making his way up towards the rafters. Still a trap covering that south side push-up as well. They have so much to work with here, but they don't have Filu anymore.
Yeah, he's caught from the back. That was the bigger issue. Didn't realize the player had already taken large amounts of control. Ruxic does well on the site, though. A fantastic performance last week with the trade out from sociablEE. Leaves things even for now, but yetujey tagged desperately low. Ruxic still holding within that site, looking to try and almost take over the scenario, but again, those trades are coming. The post plant, however, is ticking further and further away, and the swing out will deny any form of defusal. I don't even know if sociablEE's going to survive. He has to run for the hill. Something you see often. Like, that's why FUT are trying to pincer. They're going to catch someone.
But that's it, right? The player NAVI didn't need to. The reaction was good from the get-go. Nice stuff by xeus
as well. On KROSTALY. Okay,
not bad.
I thought he was dead to rights after the first shot miss. They've still got to be careful. They don't even realize. They didn't realize it's a disappearing act, but he's taken the spike with him. Hiro's done well at least. Might help them a little bit on the cross, but there's still a player that they have to deal with. They still need to get past SOP. A one-for-one trade, but KROSTALY knows that he can just play the time here. An orbital strike to make it even tougher. A clearance attempted, but just running away. They are playing that clock perfectly, and now they can just send one into their doom. Hiro on 1 HP, but nobody's going to give him the fight.
Yeah. Planted in the end, a few extra time. He's just waiting.
Well, yeah, the big thing for them, if they can get into a post plant, especially on that A site, which now they've got a pretty good opportunity to do. A lot will now be on xeus, and he's actually getting aggressive. This is so risky. Maybe not knowing that he had an escape route back out, but they almost need to try and deny them here. They know exactly where KROSTALY is. Having to walk into that poison cloud has left him even lower. At least they've taken out Hiro. That might give them a small opportunity, but with the Tour de Force online instead, this is another incredibly tough attempt at a retake.
Head spotted, but Ruxic's landing the shot. Works out. A little bit of the dish when he swung out to get traded by chloric. He's not afraid to play his role, and I like to see that.
I think we're seeing that from a couple of their players. I think, as you said, Kolosha, chloric, I think they're willing to be sacrificial lambs for, well, especially players like Hiro and Ruxic, who are going to find those kills. Well, showstopper utilized by xeus, and actually, it's an ult round. They might not be throwing weaponry into this one, but they're trying to do the damage elsewhere. In comes the overdrive. And
when they're able to take that breather in the mid-round, and then approach the fight the way they want to afterwards. Nice work, SOP gets one, and he's right back out of there.
They're already pushing. They're continuing the push. sociablE
They found my wire.
a little bit ahead of the curve, but they don't even expect yetujey to be here. Spike down, Cage is being put up, trying to fight versus Hero, and again, yetujey in these aggressive positions spoke about it, the freedom that he's being given to be a little bit more of a superstar, and a team that, well, it looks like it's full of them at this stage. Maybe some good timing, though, for Ruxic. He's managed to thread the needle and find KROSTALY, who was just sat there setting up a stun. That definitely makes this round at least a little bit more interesting, but he doesn't realize Sop is back towards mid.
Way to put them 4-4. Put the pressure on the NAVI early on. It's talking about to be sent through. It looks like it would catch a lot as well. There it goes off the back of the Prowler, and Kolosha! It's a colossal set of kills in A main. A triple. That's a wonderful setup, and now he is the lamb to the slaughter, or he could be. As he steps into A alone, his teammates run back, filling in that wide open B site, and he'll even go and join them. A 5v2. Such a nice adaptation from NAVI, and it's just a simple connection. We've seen this before. Let's react properly this time.
Yeah, knowing that there could be players behind, waiting for that initial fight, using the Prowler early. Because sometimes you get that control for free, and you'll put a deeper Prowler, get a little bit more information. Because of the fight that they had before, using it to make sure that there isn't anybody up close, and when there is, immediate flash is sent through just to make it impossible for anybody to get out of there. And the only reaction Sop could have was to try and stun them up and hope that they didn't kill him. Either way,
Teleport's ready.
the pause from Angel has worked out. And they're even gonna...
Oh, did he? I didn't even catch that.
He's clearing everything out. Well, hello. Speaking of blast packs, hello, goodbye. It was never going to use that. And instead, he's going to peek out.
That's a different decision.
That is bold.
I love that he showed restraint moments ago. I just really wish he kept up that same face seconds later. That's going to be a costly hit. I mean, really, if you wanted to clear that they were still there, you'd be throwing out a boom bot, wouldn't you, most of the time? But that's not an option when Zeus gets absolutely sniped at the start of the round by the whole enemy squad. KROSTALY spotted one. You won't repeat that. You know that could be the off. We can see it is. He's just about caught by the Nightfall. Oh, he's adjusted in time. Okay, I thought Ruxic was going to take him down, but never mind. Now Rolling Thunder sent through, and the retake already underway. Sup gets in there and takes down Filu, but Kolosha, he's hitting home.
And has a whole lot still to learn. Thrown in at the deep end. He's now on the NAVI Academy as well, announced officially. A bright future ahead, but right now, the last couple of rounds, I think you can almost put down to him.
Thank God for Angel and Artis' scouting.
Yes, I am sure that was how that went.
I saw the video.
See you later. See you later.
Big pickup for sociablE.
There you go. Who's talking smack about Breach now? You get stunned up. You get wrecked by the initial contact. A beautiful initial start. That hasn't found him.
Little blip on the radar. That was their way back in. Now we look to Ruxic. We look to the off of Filu. He's given a chance. We know he'll hit it, and Ruxic already grabs one. The number's looking a bit safer for the attackers, and they've isolated KROSTALY for a moment. Zeus close by, now steps through the smoke. And Filu connects the second shot, but he's going to need a few more! The off doesn't land! And the spike down in a very unfortunate spot. I can't see the range of that TP, but there, yeah, it's not going to reach from up top. He'd have to drop back down. They have a chance to catch him as he does, but he makes it to the site. He can swing out, get a free pick with that off, a free shot at least, and then he'll have the TP back. Whoa!
Ridiculous. The way that this round started off with an utterly beautiful setup with the stun and some of the craziest shots I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about that one afterwards, but instead we're going to be hearing from Hiro.
From the same hymn sheet.
Oh. Early fight goes their way.
On one of these sites. But I do like the idea that you found the pick on A. That's where the defense is going to potentially overreact. And now with the reveal going up. See nothing, they move towards this B site. NAVI blocked out by smoke. Still almost taking a pick. sociablE desperately low inside that smoke. It's about to fade, and he's got some backup now. They're looking to fight, looking for a scrap, trapping Hiro in the corner, but never mind! Hiro fights his way out! On board! All going towards main for now. The spike, the one left behind to take the orb. Flash won't find anyone. Sure, it blinds players, but the smokes have made certain there's no follow-up on that. FUT take the site control, deep plant, and it's for main. They go right back in to fill that space with 4 players. This is a good adjustment. Any fight that NAVI look for has big danger, with the herd waiting right around the corner, but a deep paranoia. That's beautiful until from the side, Sup's able to strike, and now Ruxic, he second guesses that push, and he's right to. They're swarming into the angle. The backups arrive. chloric and Hiro are on the scene. The judge is here and dishing out death as Hiro will just be left behind to contain that space. The others move to the site, but time now ticking. The pressure now on and a retake of main control, perhaps with KROSTALY on the wrap, but with Sup down, the time becomes an issue. That has not. Oh, it has landed! It has landed, and yetujey's got 2! This is done! The time too far gone!
All the levels decreased across the board.
That's a very pessimistic way of looking at it. I think chloric's calling already raised the floor a little bit.
Oh! Okay, that's not a bad start. Hiro is going to at least upgrade to a rifle operator in hand, but Filu, they've been baited. Again, it's just the one player on that side of the map. Now, their rotation through the middle of the map, it's one thing I really like about Fracture, is very, very quick. So it means that they are now in position, but there's already so much utility blocking their path. Sociable doesn't have any smokes remaining, so actually this angle is going to be left open. Bog's going to be spammed, and KROSTALY is in danger. There's no way of getting across, and because of that, the spike's now dropped. Sop on the reflank, but they're watching for it smart from Hiro. He's having a sublime game, and they are managing to turn this tide. Originally baited,
got the spike,
but now looking rejuvenated, just leaving Sociable with 3.
Well, he has been allowed to grab the spike, and he even looks for a fight, knowing the numbers are against him, and he had to turn the tables into his favor. It's not, but you can see the walk up here. Ruxic, first man to take contact, but he's got his smokes out. Luckily, the wall's covering him, and they didn't cross it, so when it falls, so too do the players on FUT.
Then when they know the screen's going down, they predict the timing. He's about to swing this angle. Flash is about to go through the other way, and actually, he's done all right. Quick enough on the trigger to at least find one. Ruxic's able to fall back, and in the meantime,
where you are.
aggression in the other direction. But now knowing how open that A side of the map is.
Go, go.
The problem is, though, just how fast those rotations are for the defenders. Like, immediately, you're going to see that Hiro has now rotated. Slowly across the rope goes yetujey, but maybe he will have heard those rotations on the other side, but they are running straight into the trap.
Oh, the vulnerability not even needed. It was a headshot from Hiro onto the sliding Sup. As the op goes down, it can be recovered. Oh, it was so close to taking Filu. And because he's so close to it, they don't think he's there. Why would he be? One found, and Sociable on site, but with an orbital strike, he'd want to be in main. But maybe he wouldn't, as yetujey is just falling there, and as he goes in to try to trade his teammate, chloric stabs him vulnerable, and even if you hit the spray onto the body of Neon, which is, you know, even then a tough ask, you can still... Oh! Well, Sup sold to the Wolves, and another has been fed right alongside him. Orbital strikes not covering as much ground as it needs to. Viper able to get out of the pit and pop the reset. Not even needing to go out of the pit all the way as well, containing that information, denying any sort of big peek from yetujey up top, and FUT trying to apply pressure, but they are the ones under pressure, and they have no idea just yet how bad it could be. 3 players waiting, 2 on the other side of the trip. Ruxic's taking the TP through, and now an angle, perhaps a position that they won't expect, if not for the fact I see Sociable holding the door, waiting for him to walk through. Ruxic ain't coming his way.
It's going to be so tough from here. Maybe going back the other way, but they have managed to catch out Filu. Surrounding the players within the ult, and now the ult has fallen. It leaves Ruxic, just the one. Decent trades from FUT. and will allow them to get into that post-plant position, but they are wary. The Prowler's going to give away chloric. They still don't know exactly where Kolosha is. Sure, you can have an educated guess, but they still have to hold every other angle until there. And now he makes a move to strike.
Yeah, they use the Prowler to really point him in the right direction, knowing there's a player in spawn, already tagging him up heavy and waiting for the response. It's smart from Kolosha. Consistency is the key to getting back into this game.
Unreal. Like, you get stunned up. That's the one problem with the operators, that you then can't get yourself back down that scope.
30 seconds left.
But the recovery was sublime. It's sociable's utility, and from then onwards, he's just winning MS players so far.
In terms of consistency, yeah, I mean, Filu has a map. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Filu has a map or two on the chamber. Imagine if. Oh goodness. Never mind. They're gonna put the Nightfall through up north. Prowler on the back of it, wrap around on chloric. He had no idea. I mean, they were hit by the Nightfall, but he didn't think they were going to close the distance that quickly. It's like he couldn't hear.
Sociable. Does he know Ruxic still in this position? It looks like the answer is no. That one's free, but Zeus very quick on the trade.
Spike planted.
But with Filu remaining, they definitely have to be a little bit careful. A crazy clutch earlier, but this time they're waiting, not looking the correct way. He might get the first for free,
but they don't. We've seen this from them before. NAVI pressure be made. Break the utility there, show presence, and then they turn back in the other direction. They caught them off guard last time, and he'll do the same again. Kolosha has had some really high impact rounds so far, but this one, putting NAVI potentially onto map point would be massive. He got out as well. Now covering the back towards the B site, but Hiro's being caught by Util. Luckily, NAVI have been caught by Kolosha. They tripped, but they didn't fall thanks to this man. A tough debut for him, that is for sure. It seems like NAVI, they found their rhythm and found their groove. Unscathed. Now you've looked at this push towards Dish for NAVI. Again, they pressure the control and they come back looking to take the fight as the pack of FUT push forward. Showstopper searching for a target, and it looks like it might have found one. Kolosha will be traded out, but Ruxic deadly with each barrel. And Sociable and yetujey, the last two players from FUT,
Poison's gone.
will have to clutch this one back in yetujey. Rising to the task, but rising up above that line where chloric could see him. The head shown and taken clean off. Great ult here for the post plant, but not a great position for the old Spike. And chloric's even going to take his time wrapping back around, giving Filu a chance to find the shot or set up for the 2v1 post plant.
Yeah, he's expecting him up top. Needs to find a safe place to plant, and I'll be honest, with the reposition from chloric, there isn't one. Or would need to kill him. That's the only other thing.
Used it again and again in every game that he's played so far.
There's that flash.
A wonderful flash, leaving them full blinded. The school of Jack Igo clearly is another student. NAVI won't be able to capitalize on anything here though. The smoke's down, making it an impossible task to deny the plant, even to tag those players in the way out. But when they go pushing in towards Lams, it looks like a different story. Hero's got 3 somehow. He keeps doing this. And the pistols especially, think back to the previous one. On the last map, he was on fire, and a late play by chloric here. It's still being watched. yetujey vigilant on the flank, but he won't get the kill for it, leaving Sociable. The IGL lonely. They're able to TP back, play his control over Lamps now. Outlaw in hand, and they are about to cross him, but the orb's going to go up first. I like this from FUT. They've closed the distance, and they've got to deal with this double TP, though. Players coming from behind. Plant found, but where do they go? You don't have Bat, you don't have Lance. You need some control here, and leaving Sup in this corner, it's not the best, but it's all to buy time for the wraparound on Sociable, which is being watched for. chloric's got the info to work with.
They've had to use a lot of their utility early, and it's starting to get a little bit shaky. Kolosha already picking up 2, make that 3, and now Sociable, that's all that remains. There it is. And then they send him forward to be traded, but he just killed everyone. You can't really ask for much more. Already a better start though, over the top. Ruxic gets 1, but yeah, there's no way he can correct in time. He'd need Filu level reaction. Those weren't great. I'm cursing everyone today. Just caught trying to put his TP out. Kolosha, though, a decent position, but he'll fall as well. I'm going to stop saying people's names. The player into the 1 versus 2. An opportunity for him to try and turn this back.
I've got your trail.
Seekers will reveal that man's position. There a little bit of additional damage, a chance to try.
Enemies already at the gates.
Spam shot's not far away.
Gone, nice nade.
Here under pressure, but it's sociable gone. Smoke's gone with him. The slide across will take down Kolosha. Viper's Pit being utilized, and Filu still. Of course, when we're not watching him is where he starts landing everything in his path. This is interesting. Plant going in, but they're going to try and reclaim heaven control. It seems like chloric is aware of the danger. 2 players about to push him. This fight's going to be important, and he just opts to duck away. A flash in hand, ready. Another great flash, but he gets the job done. Still holding the line versus yetujey. Finally, that wraparound has come in, but the spike's not in the greatest position for him. He's going to have to stop them before they get towards it. 2 still standing, and it's a...
But NAVI were proactive. They've already cleared outside of boot.
Just already dead.
So they're ready for this. Yeah, it's just straight spam. As they're crossing back to the site, just fire a few bullets through the wall, see what you get. What you get is Zeus down and out, and, well, looked like it was very nearly sociable. Following, beautiful flash. Sop took a while to react to the player on his screen. He might have been blind, I'm not certain, but
that's chloric.
Sure,
right?
We'll see it again. Yeah, definitely, it was chloric's flash that came from B long.
Yeah, he wrapped it back round
the
over the top.
line, yeah.
He's very talented.
They actually go really far now.
Yeah. Oh. KROSTALY. Sociable. There's even a question of whether holding onto the guns is worth more. The jump peek over the top as well. You can see they've spotted someone as chloric has now turned to face the correct direction. He'll take contact, and while the contact might be all they need, a 3rd kill for him in the round, a flash that has managed to blind him, and while for KROSTALY.
Danger with Ruxic having crossed to the right, but being spotted. Shot lands, and now there's no real pressure, and I don't want to see Ruxic leave that corner without putting the wall up, and he does, but yetujey just lost focus on the angle. The timing couldn't be better, but Hiro's been domed. An early swing by Zeus, he came in at the same time as the dog. Unexpected, and he's got the jump on them as a result, closing the distance. It's the same story, and well, Zeus has come through to basically give them a round off his own back.
Yeah, this round has nothing to do with utility. It has nothing to do with team play. It is all just Zeus walking into angles and headshotting anybody that he sees. So if anything, the only way they can win this is by blinding him. Don't do it, KROSTALY.
I was gonna say.
One enemy remaining.
And the blind works in his favor. Zeus sliding.
Opens up another special program, and they just walk in and start headshotting everybody. Because literally, there is, in any of these fights, there is no support. It's just him absolutely doming players up until the very last. For Filu, he wants to keep that element of surprise. Still has a rifle in his back pocket if it's needed. And well, here goes the showstopper, maybe trying to clear him out. It's not connected. A decent trade, but they still have an unknown position or two. One of those being Filu in this backline. Someone that they need to clear. He's getting shot through the wall. And well, not quite the clutch of before. It's left all on to Hiro.
I'm curious as to what ideas he has. Filu, though, there's one clear idea in his head. He can't push much further because of his TP. And with the TP destroyed by the orbital strike, he had nowhere to go. Now the Odin's alone. Will be dealt with easily. Very nice work by FUT to isolate that B-long push and leave them no way out.
Had enough of American players killing us with Odins to last a lifetime, and it's not going to happen today. This is the 3rd time they've gone B in a row, and a 3rd time that we have seen them utterly dominate. It seems like they found the gap, and well, not that clean. It was a Zeus ace. And well, he's not going to get one this time, but there is that 2nd layer to it. You can take down Zeus, but Sop is so quick behind. Seekers used early. Maybe trying to see if this is another committal to the B site where they've been struggling. And well, you can see from NAVI the reaction.
This last round, they'll try it there, they'll walk up. Well, he's had to walk up, and still, no info, no one facing him. And now when someone does, they're right up in his face. Not an ideal fight. And now, He's surrounded with a TP already used. The shot missed, another shot missed, and he will be dealt with easily.
He's been dealt with by sociablE every round. It's always sociablE that's found him. sociablE has 5 kills. I think they might all be Filu. Like, it's just been, okay, I'm going to jiggle peek this angle until the op shot and then kill him. I know he's done it at least 3 times, but they've now got into that advantageous post plant. Yetujey's position a little bit unorthodox, and that flash. I think we're going to get a replay of that one. This one, maybe. No, but it doesn't matter. Yetujey styling, and Hero, well, another for the ages, another one for the NAVI catalog.
The game plan they came out of that pause with was perfect.
Oh, that same early aggression. It's expected. Even still, as I said, the attack side was much better in their previous showing, but I think the momentum for FUT is going to be far more important. Not at the best of times in the pistol round so far, but they're relatively well placed for this one. NAVI have got a pretty decent amount of ground. I'm just more worried about those spams, and more so when those smokes are going to begin to fade.
Well, there you go, smoke fades. Flash on the other side of it. The players pushed into Bath. They're going to find a bounty coming their way. All 4 now grouped up there thanks to the TP, but Hiro is fast approaching on the flank. Ruxic, he won't be able to buy enough time. Not all by himself, and even now, they'll look back towards triple for the wraparound. Nice shot, and hold on! It was looking possible, but the pistol Hero has to come back in again. He's already found 2. The bandit in hand, and he makes it back around the corner. Tap from Yetujey, he'll make it to half. Hero being patient, assumes that that player wouldn't dare to stick it, but now it's a real danger. The shot has to land blindly, and he runs out of time. Defuse found, and FUT to get very close. And a Sky Flash almost destined to come through that wall. Filu's in trouble. It's not even the flash. They just let it fall.
Hey, listen, we need to get in the smoke. We need to pop through.
Careful, just like judge or close someone. Careful, pocket.
Hold on. I'm gonna flash this through. You guys ready?
Wait, I will do close smoke.
Ready?
Well, a couple of players waiting here. 25 seconds to get that spike down, and a nice shot from KROSTALY. Even the flash to try and delay them a little bit more. His teammates hightailing it to the other side of the map, but it's Ruxic jumping up. Has been able to put this back into a 3v3.
You have to wait for the backup, but it's here now. As you said, you have those weaker weapons to try to take advantage of some of these positions, but getting into them, forcing those fights isn't always easy. chloric, though, is offering up a battle. In fact, there's no! With a judge in play for SOP, it was a bold move, and they have been well and truly punished. It's their only last bastion, but, well, we saw how that worked out.
Well, a weaker purchase in. There are currently 2 buckies invested into the attack side take. We've seen the shotguns work on one side in lamps. Now I'm almost happy to see them in lamps. Timing here is going to be very important, though, and it's perfect from chloric. In fact, it's the Stinger that takes over, and last 2 players.
Spike planted.
You might not want to save with how many credits you've got in the back pocket, but every gun you don't save is potentially going to be delivered into enemy hands.
Well, last round it was clear that chloric likes to fight around lamps, and now I know why. What a fantastic battle for him on that backside. And again, just those players caught looking in the other direction. The chaos being capitalized on for the attack side. And KROSTALY, nice shots! But he's running out of luck, surely, certainly running out of HP, and with a molly on the spike, it's save time yet again. Running for the spawn, running for the hills. Flash is getting replayed, isn't it? And because of the flash failing for NAVI, the Tiger has to go through, and all alone, Filu gets decimated as Hero tries to come to his aid, and late to the site, but just about making it to long in time. Kolosha's good for 1, but that's all she wrote. An immediate return to form for FUT. Some mistakes there for NAVI, but proactive pushes have gotten him here. Ruxic, 2 more to take down, but he's 11 HP. This will sit as an impossibility, especially because he has to go out and get that spike.
He's got time. Like, that's the one thing that's really in his favor. Those 2 kills were so fast. There's been a realization from KROSTALY. It's just going to be the timing. And the time... Oh, he turned around! He's turned around! And Ruxic's being patient. He wants to try and find the second. I don't think it's worrying, because they're just not giving anything over. They're not giving an opportunity for an operator to do anything. Kolosha, he's done fantastically well. Managing to come out with 2 there. He looked dead to rights and sociablE. Oh, he's being rounded on. It's another Kolosha round. We've had a few of them. So they're cowering away. I don't blame them. That's been his part of the map. And actually, now it starts to get dangerous. A chance for KROSTALY, this time even as a friend.
It's up. Left on his own with KROSTALY's fall, and well, crossing this weapon will not be easy normally, but Stop still alive after taking a second round of fire, and he is coming close to dropping Ruxic. The time though, the time is too far gone. Surely indeed he'll tap it, but out of ammunition as well. Key thing being that FUT don't have that chamber, so they can't hold back. That means they can't leave a player solo holding the A side. They can't rotate early, so the B side now under more threat. Instead of holding back with numbers, they have to push forward with the disadvantages in play. Nice damage from Sop. Kolosha down to 23. An easy connection if this Sky Heal wasn't bringing him right back up to close to full. Not all the way, he'd taken a little bit too much damage for that amount of time, but KROSTALY and Sociable answering up with a few. This is looking like a done deal. 12 seconds on the clock and the spike on the floor. Molly goes through, but the wall will get him out. Nice shot from Ruxic, but he won't get to this site.
Won 11 rounds and only lost 2. Looking like a different beast. Kolosha again, one of the 2 rounds they've won is off his back, and it looks like they might just have the third. Another phenomenal entry. And
planted.
Zeus and yetujey, they can afford this. It's just whether they feel like it's winnable.
It's not like they're going to have their ults online by the end of the half. If we do go to OT. But with how rounds have gone so far, they're feeling confident. yetujey's already found the first. He'll get on that spike, tapping it at least to draw out a battle or any utility that might still be there. You think the snake bite's going to be on the way, but Kolosha spots they're not there. Walk up is perfect from Hiro, and the spray. 11 out of 14 rounds now have gone to FUT across, you know, the latter half of the first half into this.
He's gone through the snake
like they woke
bite.
up, and my goodness, they're looking to put NAVI to bed. An attempt to accelerate towards the lamps, but the light's going out slowly on the attacking side.
But yeah, if FUT had no sound, maybe that would have worked. But that was such, considering the position they was in, that was such a gamble. They ran through an orb and a snake bite, and then they expected their opponents just to go, yeah, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing any steps or any damage. Yeah. Not sure I can even call that a gamble, because I don't see a world in which that works.
They have to be Skyrim guards. Must have been the wind. The walk up here from NAVI. They have
Sociable's position.
managed to bypass him. He's aware of it. Well, he certainly is now. He got peppered up. But all the while, they're just waiting for Filu to try to get something. Unfortunately, he got triple swung. Being triple swung there when you've made no noise, when your teammates are pressuring and spotted on B. That's got to be a head scratcher. Nice damage. Nice follow-up. But still a 4 versus 2. And Ruxic's got down to 10 HP. 0 HP with the nade. And 0.
Think could dip them.
But that's the problem. His rays never blew the enemy away most of the time either. So there's definitely a lot of ground to make up for there in terms of expectations. I detest his duelist, but Chamber, evidently a lot of work went into it. Let's see if the changes to the meta, to the way teams are playing and approaching things can favor him, and indeed the team as a whole. For NAVI, already there's got to be bodies that are checking those angles, and Kolosha goes down to 20, well, indeed, some of that was decay, but still, 40 HP ain't much better.
Spams so close, and there goes Zeus. Ruxic in the corner, the snake in the grass, and the snake has a bite! He comes up with 3, puts it down to the 1 versus 1. Filu on the other side of the map, but yetujey doesn't know that. He's going to utilize that smoke to get into the post farm, and this gives him an opportunity to completely reposition. And once Filu figures out the plan, he might figure out where his opponent is. Pulled out the gun. There's already 3 players here now. They're still yet to get towards the site. Zeus has now found nothing. They can even just go back and maybe try and deny plant. 15 seconds. FUT need to go. They need to get moving. One already comes up Kolosha's way, and on that neon he can just dance and dive, close the angles, and it's getting scary. Still no plant coming in, and I don't think he's got it.
It's
going to be incredibly close, but no time left on the clock. Kolosha's done enough, and well, FUT with a fumble, but
narrow margin, but wide enough for NAVI to slip into a 3-0 lead, and
The other thing as well is if you can get a sort of like the crouch timing right, even a bit of range, it narrows the pellets enough that it can kill you in one shot.
And how do you avoid it? Because basically you have to not take map control on the attack at the start of the round, because wherever you go, that could happen. He could come swinging out. There could be a prowler coming. And if you don't take map control at the start of the round, you're pretty screwed. So you have to just take a gamble every round.
The great thing now is they've upgraded to a rifle, so he's not doing it, but you don't know that. Hiro, a little bit of a taste of your own medicine, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Even with a stack up of players, FUT have managed to completely clear out this site. Now there's still a decent amount of credits to maybe give this one a go, but guess what? It's another judge kill. Filu at least. It's going to
do it. One of those is not the judge decisively, and here comes the showstopper.
Oh, no.
It's tragic. He's fired it at the floor, but sociable on a pedestal.
He's going to get 3 jumps, is what I meant.
Yes, yeah, you didn't say kills. That's very true.
Oh, chloric on 8 HP. A teammate lost in middle. It feels like Ruxic's going to have to carry the heavy load. Zeus's timing's pretty good. Looking for that backstab. The rest of the team just holding on to the heavens. FUT wanted to play slow, but they've done this so much quicker that they can actually afford to. The flying through, well, the steps heard. There is Ruxic, and there's a spike, but nowhere near as low on time. And eventually the second layer to that flank. It's now onto Kolosha again. And he doesn't get past.
Knowing that space is likely left lighter defended, but well, Hiro's all they needed. He's done so well with that first fight, and now the op comes back in for more, but perhaps a bit too much.
Oh, and then even the repeat from Kolosha. I think maybe expecting his teammate to come through at the same time, but it's a little bit disjointed. Nice work though from chloric again. Doesn't expect
boots on the ground if the plant comes in, and yetujey still alive. That Viper's Pit could turn the round in their favor, but with SOP down already, they need something.
Yeah. Flashes leaving them blind. It's whiffy though from Filu. TP gives the kill over to Ruxic. They now know he's in the back corner, no support. He needs to hold the line, and he will lose his life. KROSTALY with his 3rd of the round. Stuns going through.
That's at least the start. Still that Viper's Pit to work with, but more importantly, Viper wrapping up behind, but catches the rope, and the slow descent into the vent. Not what you want to see when chloric sat there waiting.
Oh, they don't know about the judge. They've only seen chloric there. So they expected somebody to be there in a rifle, but not with a judge. A freebie. Still an aggressive fight from Filu. Is there going to be the swing? There will. And sociablEE said throughout this game has just had his number. Every single time it feels like that's been a one-sided battle. Hiro not able to land the shot. It will be a post-spawn. And even the temptation to throw in the pit.
He's going to do it from inside the snake bite, that little bit safer to get close. And look at how much coverage this gets. The entire site cleared out. He even steps out of the pit while it's going up. Unfortunately, flank is going to be dealt with, but with the pit on site, it comes down to Kolosha. With a judge here, he stands a great chance, especially when the tap comes in. Those players forced to close the distance, forced to move into the pit. Heroes come through. It's later a lot of the time. A judge on up in heaven. Now they've pushed site. What do you do with it? Well, you get shot in the head.
Yeah, not a lot, it seems. Both players within that side have been fallen. Fake TP utilized, and you can see that chloric is a little wary that someone was around this angle, hoping for the spam, maybe to try and deny a planter if it was more open, but instead right to the back of the site. And every single player within it. Filu won off a showstopper, but somebody would have to give him a fight. Going back in with that operator is surely a death sentence, and even still, they're expecting somebody to be close, but they're not. They're waiting inside the pit, waiting for someone to try and make a move. That's a lot of damage. The C's has done well, but KROSTALY, again, is just playing that defender. Another missed shot from Filu.
Sop is chasing him down.
Go, go.
They know now that he should be in that corner. Is here, or does the second half worry you? We'll
Maybe
ask in a
answer that
moment.
one in a second. An early battle, a contact play, and this time Filu has managed to hit that operator shot. I think I'd like to see
Gamble plays when you've got less invested, less weaponry to work with. In fact, you look at the 3 players over there, it's a Judge and 2 pistols. The op left to hold its own on B. With the man advantage
30
already,
seconds left.
they just need to trade this out, and that is a very doable task. Already the Molly is going to go in towards the ramp, stopping anybody else from coming to meet them, and now diving
That's
into
a
back
spike.
sight, you find out that there's 3. A hard way to realize that you've been red. Then you see 3 people, and you're done. No.
Filu has just been wrecked. Genuinely, a lot of these low buys have looked better for NAVI. They take risks instead. Now there's going to be a singular player on the side trying to... No! The ult! And that's exactly what Sop has done. No fear with any shotgun in hand. All that decay, all that, well, damage or so it seemed, has
Spike
gone.
planted.
I've got your trail.
Sop's still up close. Seeker's even going to give him the information. They're going to shoot the Seekers, and they're not going to expect him to be there. They're surely not quite that strong.
It's going to be a very symmetrical leaderboard. We'd love to see it top to bottom. 3-3, 2-2, 1-1, like you said. The trades back and forth, and indeed the same for the
Turn this into a victory, put themselves 2-0, or is it going to be up for FUT? A squad that we didn't really expect to be there. Sociable looking to try and fight back. He's taking so much damage on the backside. And well, there's been a lot of damage across the board. Zeus low, him low, chloric low, Kolosha.
They are still standing eagerly by. Sociable on the site. Yetujey dropping now. All eyes on B main. FUT think that's where the hit's coming in.
Don't you dare.
Don't know how good their read is. Sociable safe from the reveal. They'll find one.
Spike down
Yetujey
B.
to be dealt with as the
30
wraparound comes in
seconds
from
left.
KROSTALY. Yetujey just wants to buy time. He's not looking for a fight, but NAVI are the wraparound unexpected. They have no idea where KROSTALY is, and he is closing
planted.
the distance. Hiro caught reloading. That's the full HP player down. And that plant position could cause some issues, especially now that KROSTALY knows exactly where Kolosha is. The flash popped, and look how low on the Sop. Now, Sop does have a Judge, and it is a matter of timing for him to slip down behind them. You could see if he just walked, he'd have 3 with their back turn. He has no way of knowing that. 9 times out of 10, he would just be throwing his life away. But with the wall, NAVI make it to sight, and now it's going to be a bit more difficult to use the weaker weapons.
Depends though, they might be looking just to try and isolate the players that are in the backline. That's exactly what they're doing. They want to kill off the rotators. I think he has an idea that maybe there's a second one, but instead goes back the other way. In fact, it's a long rotation, thought about at least from chloric, but with Hiro doing enough. He's going to go back to right where he was. Doesn't need to join up with his teammates just yet. KROSTALY does well. Sociable also on the trade up, but that time is ticking. They need to win both of these fights and quickly, and now that's the most dangerous one. chloric has to swing this angle. He needs to go for the guy. This attack from NAVI, but quickly put back into place. Showstopper almost just being used in an attempt to save Yetujey. I don't know if it's going to work. And now almost needs to be a trade. The Hero has just, again, just lost his life to a ghost. He's been spooked. The Kolosha's desperately low. He needs some help, needs some support. But KROSTALY is not going to risk it.
But not a flank like that.
Sop is just going. He's just running in.
All he was missing was a slide. That would have been a different game, but used earlier. KROSTALY. Oh, he's watching the ropes. He's ready and waiting. The spike on its way. 33 HP on KROSTALY, but he trades blows with Filu. Down to 51, down to 0 as the spike falls. 20 seconds left. Nowhere for Ruxic to go. He had his TP, his ult moments ago, but it was used, and now... Again, we come into this, Sop highly anticipated, but really it feels like Sociable, the highlight of this squad, and taking up the IGLing role and delivering like this is remarkable.
Oh yeah, a team that was pretty much at the bottom of EMEA, taking on a team that made it to Masters, and a team that we kind of expected to compete. Already a great start to this round, but the trades come back. NAVI still looking to fight, looking to try and cling to life with a streak needed, but a man that's been tough to deal with. KROSTALY at the back of the side. They have to fight this one together, and even still, it might not be enough.
Down A.
The Seeker sent out to Hero. He's big.